What's going on, Orlando Magic fans? Welcome to the Six-Man Show Postgame Live, presented by Rock'em. Magic lose 101. 101 to 79 to the Portland Trailblazers at home. 101 to 79. This will be fun. Yeah, welcome to the show. Yay. This is a mess, guys. This is really bad. Yeah, but this is the Six-Man Show, post-game live. It's our live show after every Orlando Magic game. Doesn't matter if we have an amazing win on the road in Los Angeles to beat the Lakers or a crushing defeat by 22 at the hands of the Portland Trailblazers. We're here on YouTube after every game. Yeah, this show is brought to you by Rock'em. They're amazing. I really wanted to show you something tonight, and I hope this would have been on better circumstances. I honestly thought it was going to be on better circumstances, and we'll talk about that in a second. But I wanted to show you a new off from Rock'em. Look at these. Rock'em are now going into the low-cut sock game, which, as someone who almost exclusively wears low-cut socks, very excited about that. Not just Orlando Magic. They have all kinds of other teams as well. So you can get the Magic ones. You can get NFL, NHL, college, on and on and on. They've got all kinds of great socks and underwear for some of your favorite teams. Just use this code MAGIC20 because it'll get you 20% off your order at rock'em.com all Orlando Magic season long, which at this point, I don't know how long the Magic season is going to be. Oh, isn't that painful to say? All right. That's going to do it, folks. Thanks so much for... I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that again. Oh, guys, what are we doing? What is this? Oh, man. This sucks. Golly. Who would have thought? Who would have thought we would be in this position? Wow. So... tonight was an emotional roller coaster, right? Like, we get the news earlier today that Franz is back, and that's really exciting. And I felt like morale is pretty high. You're coming up against this Blazers team that statistically has not been very good. Yeah, they just won on Tuesday, I guess it was, against Miami. So, they had a little bit of mojo. But you're thinking you're going to this game with Franz, who else? J.I. was available tonight. He was not available on Tuesday. And so you're thinking, okay, look, we got Franz, we got J.I. Let's just go take care of this. And that's just not what happened at all. Like, you could have convinced me before this game that the Magic were going to lose to the Blazers, and I would have believed you. I'd been like, sure, that's fine. Under no circumstance did I think that getting blown out by the Blazers was in the cards. I'm honestly kind of shocked over here at how tonight went. Again, not that we lost. If we lost a close competitive game to the Blazers, not surprising at all. This is the NBA. Every team is capable of beating any team on any given night. It's the way it goes, right? I certainly did not expect a blowout, though. Pretty bad. Especially considering where we are. Like, this is just not a one-off, like, oh, bad night. We lost by a lot. Whatever. It's the fifth game in a row. It's the fifth blowout in a row. It's not good. Now, are injuries still a factor? Sure. I don't think Powell is at his best yet. That's pretty obvious by his 1 of 14 shooting line tonight. Yikes. Right? Franz, obviously not at 100%, although I didn't think he was really bad tonight. J.I. coming back from illness, I don't think he's at 100%. You could go down the list. But to have 5 straight blowout losses is really, really... I don't know if it's concerning, but it's really close to it. I know we're still missing Goga. We're still missing Jalen. That's 2 starters. So maybe I'm not full on panic mode yet, but wow, that was that was just that was really surprising. Really surprising. We got our first super chat of the night from King the Seventh. Says, I don't think I've ever seen Coach disappointed in the team, but he was clearly frustrated tonight. Can't believe we got out hustled again. Go Magic. Thank you for that super chat. Yeah, definitely got out hustled. I mean, the turnovers in the first half were, I don't know that I've ever seen anything like it. I mean, sure, maybe the Magic have had 16 turnover halves in their history, but that one was just, it was comical at some points. It wasn't even NBA basketball. It was a joke, like just terrible turnovers. What do we end up with? 19? Is that right? 19 turnovers? Wow. Felt like it was 40. Anyway, I don't know. That's tough. And then obviously the shooting. Your shooting actually goes up in the final moments of this game. But you still end up shooting 6 of 25 from 3 for 24%. 21 of 31 at the free throw line for 67%. 26 of 76 from the field for 34%. 34% from the field, guys. In the NBA in 2025, 34%. I mean, what can you do with that? What is that? 79 points on 76 shots. Oh no. Oh no, guys, that is so bad. Oh man. And I mean, let's add the free throws to it. Ugh. That's 79 points on 76 field goal attempts and 31 free throw attempts. That's crazy. That is so crazy. That's just so crazy. I'm kind of at a loss for this one, guys. That's just wild. That's wild. Whatever. All right. Let's go to the chat. Save me, chat, please. We are just so down bad. So down bad right now. This sucks. All right. Matthew Thomas says, what happened to this team? You tell me. Somebody tell me. I mean, it's hard because I know injuries and illness has been a serious problem for this team. I am not going to downplay that at all. But man, I just really felt like we had enough to at least be competitive with the Portland Trailblazers tonight at home. Just be competitive. I'm not even saying win the game. Be competitive, because this team was not. Not at all. Soul Train says, do they need another big? Wendell Carter Jr. is a bench power forward IMO. I think so. Jonathan Isaac is not reliable. He is absolutely invisible on offense. I mean, when I don't want to like harp on Wendell because we talked about him on today's episode of the Six Man Show, and so I don't want to like beat a dead horse, but good golly, man. Wendell is just like is tonight was tonight was really, really bad. Did not do himself any favors tonight after we just talked about him this morning on this morning's episode. It's rough. Thank you for that super chat, Soul Train. And then Matt Baldwin says, too soon to question the offensive coaches. I mean, is it the coach's fault that our guys are just incapable of knocking down threes? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, you take Jet Howard goes 3 for 4 from 3. Like, you take away his threes, this team goes 3 of 21 from 3. Take away Anthony Black, who went 1 for 1, and Jet Howard, that puts you at 2 for 20. So 10%. So yeah, your two sophomores, Jet Howard, Anthony Black, you take them away, and all the quote-unquote veterans, except for Tristan Da Silva, who's included in that, went 2 for 20. And by the way, Tristan was the only guy who made a 3 outside of Jet Howard and Anthony Black. So take away Tristan Da Silva, who went 2 for 5. The rest of the team went 0 for 15 from 3. That's including guys like KCP and Caleb Houston, who are supposed to be knockdown shooters. That's including your Franz and Paolo, who go 0 for 7 from 3. I mean, like, what? Like, man. Like, those numbers, I hope Magic fans, I hope we realize the, like, the depth of this. Like, these numbers are absolutely outrageous. Like, they are historic in the worst possible way. Like, you know, earlier this year, I would get on this show after an amazing comeback victory with, you know, missing a bunch of guys and everything, and I'd say, I hope we don't take this for granted. I hope we remember this team and remember these moments and blah, 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 blah. Now it's kind of the opposite, in that I hope that Magic fans, like, fully understand how disgusting this is. Like, this is really, really bad. It's really bad. And so maybe it's also the opposite in that, you know, maybe don't forget the amazing moments earlier in the season, but please forget these moments right now, because these are terrible. I mean, it's really, really, it's hard to believe. Oh, man. We need to go to the chat, but all I'll say is, like, we're 2 weeks away from the trade deadline today. 2 weeks. 2 weeks from right now, we will have the roster that we will take into the postseason. And you don't want to overreact, because a team did play well for large stretches of the season, despite all the odds stacked against them. But wow, the last 2 weeks have been truly abysmal. Carson Tula with a super chat says Goga's value is glaring to the team at this point. Yeah, I would say Goga, but for me, it's even more so. It's Jalen. Like, good grief, man. Jalen. Yeah, his value is immense. And you're right, Goga too. Like, Goga brings consistency, first off, which is something this team is just crying out for. I have absolutely zero consistency right now. So he brings that, but obviously brings the defensive presence in the paint, another good rebounder, good on the offensive glass, getting putbacks, getting lobs, getting whatever. Yeah, need those guys back. Jalen looks like he's going to come back before Goga. If some of that, like, practice footage is any indication, it looks like Jalen's going to come back before Goga, which is crazy. I hope Goga's doing all right. You know, concussions are no joke. So, yeah, man. Wow, guys, I'm just kind of shook. I'll be honest with you. It's wild, because earlier this season I would get on this show and be just I'd be speechless because of an amazing win that we should have never had and blah, blah, blah. And now tonight I'm speechless for all the wrong reasons. I cannot believe that's what happened tonight. Can't believe it. Matthew Kennison says, even if Weltman doesn't like it, a move has to be made. We are struggling against bad teams. Yeah. 79 points, guys. 79 points on 76 shots, 31 free throws, free throw attempts is just, it's ludicrous. It's just ludicrous stuff right there. It's just crazy. Crazy. Let's see. Blaze says, losing to teams like this is disgusting work. Makes me embarrassed to be looking at Magic games. It's just so crazy how this has changed so fast. You know? Wild. Clement says, pitiful. Bottom 5 team in the NBA in 2025. Worst offense in the league this year. By a lot, by the way. Like, by a lot. And Wendell has to be one of the worst starting centers in the league. He is terrible. I hated when they signed him. Yeah. Seth says, rough night for Paolo. I mean, one of the worst games of his career. I can't remember his stat line in Detroit last year when he had the game winner when he was sick and played terrible. But tonight goes 1 of 14 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3, 6 of 8 from the line, 9 boards, 6 assists, 2 blocks, 5 turnovers, 8 points for Paolo. Yeah, Paolo was really bad tonight. Oh, man. This is wild. Destined for Greatness says, we've gone from winning games we have no business winning to losing games we have no business losing. I'm officially hitting the panic button. This is where I'm on the fence because, yeah, this is so bad. And to lose 5 games in a row this badly is not good. But we are still missing 2 starters. And so I'm telling myself, all these things combined, the injuries, the sickness, the missing starters, all that kind of stuff, it's boiled over into what we have seen in the last 2 weeks. And I'm telling myself when we get healthy, things will be better. But even when we're healthy, it doesn't solve some of these problems. I think some of these problems have been magnified because of the injuries and the sicknesses and all that stuff. But yeah, it's just really hard to believe. Chris D says, I don't panic over sports. This sucks, but I have no control. There are worse things going on that I'm panicking over. I mean, you're not wrong about that. That's for sure. Sports are sports. It's a game. Life is way bigger than sports. However, I think in the right context, if you're asked the question, do you panic over what you're seeing in Magic basketball world? I think that's a valid question. Yeah, it's crazy. This is just crazy. Colin says, this is embarrassing. At one point, we were undefeated at home. I can't help but feel like this season was stolen from us. That, I think, is a very valid way to look at this season. It feels like it was absolutely stolen from us, absolutely just ripped out from under us. It's tough. I mean, what did we start, 11-0 at home? Somebody fact check me on that. I think we started 11-0 at home, and now we are we 500 now? Yeah, we are 23-23 on the year, and we are 14-9 at home. Does that mean we're 3-9 in our last 12 home games? Come on now, really? That's crazy. I'm pretty sure we started 11-0 at home. That first loss was to the Knicks at home. Where is that game? Let's see. There it is. So 1, 2, 2-2, 2-4, 3-4, 3-5, 3-6, 3-7, 4-7, 4-8. So we're 4-9 in our last 13 home games. Yeah, 4-9. That's crazy, man. That's really, really hard to believe. Specifically, we have lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've lost 6 of our last 8 at home. To get a little more recent. Yeah, that's just hard to believe. Oh man. Okay. Matthew Garfinkel says, worst game of the year 2 days ago, and we somehow top it. Oh, you're not wrong, and that's what makes it so painful. Devastate, I think is what that username says. It says Wendell got to go at this point. The problem is, if you are in that camp of Wendell's got to go, he can't go. He's not tradable. He can't be traded till April, till after the season is over. So if you are in that camp, you got to postpone your camping trip to next year, okay? Or later this year, I mean, next season, right? Don't shoot the messenger. That's just a fact. Matthew Thomas, thank you for the super chat. He says the last time a team shot threes this bad was the 2012 Bobcats, who won 7 games. 7 games they won. They didn't win a 7-game series, Matthew is saying. No, they won 7 games in the regular season. I remember those Bobcats teams. That was terrible. And so is this. This is pretty bad. Jacob G says, hello, darkness, my old friend. Back to the baseline existence of being a Magic fan for 20 years. I think that's also part of why this sucks so much, is because we have dealt with this for a decade, more than a decade. We finally have something good going on last season. We finally have that good continues into this season. We get dealt a terrible hand, and we find a way to still survive. And now all of a sudden, that method of survival is not working, and so we are absolutely falling apart. And so, yeah, Magic fans are like, great, here we go again. I think that's part of the problem. Oh my gosh. Well, it's just wild how things change so fast in an NBA season. Janine says, I miss the heart and hustle our team used to show. It's not the same. It's not the same. Carson says, almost 2 weeks since we last won a game. Paolo 1 for 14. Have no words. At least Franz had 20. Yeah. Let's see. When did Jalen got hurt in the Toronto game, right? That first Toronto game, that's when Jalen got hurt. Is that right? I'm pretty sure it is. Let me see. Box score, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that was the game. So since then, without Jalen, man, that's been a long time ago. 0 for 1. Let's see. Let's see. We're 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 2-3, 2-4, 2-5, 2-6, 2-7, 2-8. We're 2-8 in our last 10, and 2-8 since Jalen Suggs went out. I think that goes hand in hand with your comment, Janine, about heart and hustle, missing the heart and hustle. Jalen's just a catalyst for that stuff, man. Just is. The Only Hero says, this is the lowest point of the season. Not only losing, but only scoring 79 points against one of the worst teams in the league. Defense was terrible. Offense non-existent. Just so tired. Yep. Wild. Kevin says, first off, hello, fellow Kevin. Says, please don't end the PGL early tonight. I need a 6-man show therapy session. Well, you got it. 25 minutes in. And I've sighed more in this episode than I ever have in any episode combined, I think. Just kind of in just shock over here. Philip says, I'm afraid for the next 48 hours at Kia Center, SMH. Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, Saturday against the Detroit Pistons. That'll be interesting. Yikes. Magic sit tied for 9th. Heck, let's put this up. Let's look at this thing together. While it's all doom and gloom, let's just make it worse. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off and just look at it. Just acknowledge. We need to acknowledge what's happening here. We need to come to grips with it. Your Orlando Magic are now tied for 9th in the Eastern Conference. They do own the tiebreaker against the Miami Heat for now. We do play the Heat on Monday. 3 games up on the Bulls. Fortunately, the bottom 5 teams in the East are so bad that the Magic still have a 6-game lead on the 11 seed. So we are still 6 games clear of missing the postseason entirely. However, we are firmly in play-in position at this point. Firmly is probably an overstatement. We're just a game back of 6. 2 games back of 5, the Pacers. 3.5 games back of the Bucks. Yeah. At this point, you're 5.5 games back of the 3 seed. Is that out of reach? Yeah, it's out of reach. You're 46 games into the season. I mean, mathematically, it's not. I know the Knicks have one of the toughest schedules remaining. The Magic have one of the easiest schedules remaining. However, it's not a lot of games to make up a lot of ground. Let's see here. We just got a super chat. If this will work, there we go. Gabe Gaines. Golly, what is going on with that super chat? There we go. Says, I'm convinced there's a problem within the coaching staff. I think someone is really messing with our guys' shot forms. I thank you for the super chat, by the way, Gabe. I want to find something to blame for the shooting woes. I really do. But I don't know. I don't know if that's it, right? There has to be, you feel like there has to be something that's just impacting every single freaking player on this team. But is it a coach like teaching guys the wrong way to shoot? I don't know. I feel like we would have heard about that by now. Like, I don't know. Again, I'm just like you. I'm scratching, I'm clawing, trying to find something to blame for this because there's no explanation for it. Is the coaching staff? I don't know. Golly, I really don't know. Thank you for that super chat. All right, so those are the standings. They suck. While we're here, let's just let's check out the scores from the rest of the league and see. I'm gonna refresh this. Okay, Raptors up 3 on the Atlanta Hawks. If that makes you feel any better. Looking for what would be their. This is their third win. They've won 3 out of 4 if they hold on to this lead. Maybe 4 out of 5. I can't remember. Well, at least the Milwaukee Bucks are up 16 at the half on the Miami Heat. That's a nice thing. I'll take that. Warriors host the Bulls later, and the Spurs beat the Pacers by 30 today in Paris, which is pretty wild. I'll come back to the score in a second to see about the Raptors-Hawks game. But in the meantime, let's do what we have to do and look at the box score. And golly, guys, this is just so bad. It's unthinkably bad. I cannot believe how bad this is. Franz, like I said earlier, didn't think he was terrible. 20 points tonight, 9 of 19 from the field. His first game in 6 weeks, pretty much. So, I mean, you can't complain about Franz tonight. I mean, you can complain about 4 turnovers maybe, but outside of that, I didn't think Franz was that bad. Wish he made a 3, but whatever. No one makes threes around here. Paolo, we already talked about him. Historically bad night for him. 1 of 14 from the field. Yikes. Wendell, 0 of 4 from the field. 3 points. All 3 came at the free throw line. He had 3 turnovers as your center. Can't do that. KCP, 7 points, 2 of 5 from the field, did not make a 3. Anthony Black, I thought was all right tonight too. 12 points, 5 assists, 5 of 11 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3. Just had 1 turnover in 31 minutes. I mean, give me that. You'll take that from Anthony Black. Jonathan Isaac, 7 boards. His rebounding is just markedly better this year. It really is. The problem is everything else is worse, right? He gives you absolutely nothing on offense. Defensively, he's not the same player. So are the extra rebounds worth that? I don't know. You can decide. Tristan da Silva was the other bright spot of the night. 16 points on 5 of 8 from the field. 2 of 5 from 3. Made all 4 of his free throws. 5 boards, an assist, a steal. Only 1 turnover in 29 minutes. Yeah, that's amazing. Trevelin Queen, just super short minutes tonight, just 6. Let's see. Caleb Houston, 11 minutes, didn't score. Corey Joseph, 13 minutes, had 2 points. And then Jet Howard, 16, just under 17 minutes. Played some in earlier in the game and then played garbage time as well. Ends up with 10 points. Magic shoot 34% from the field, 24% from 3, 67% from the free throw line. They got 14 offensive rebounds, so that's pretty cool. But outside of that, barf. I think I saw a super chat. I did. It's from Nikki Nunu. Said, who would you trade for right now? I'm worried teams don't want our guys that can't shoot at all currently. Your concern is 100% valid, Nikki Nunu. I don't know who other teams would want. I say that. I don't know. There are some interesting pieces that might catch the eye of some other teams if they're put in a different position. I think about a guy like Cole Anthony, who clearly has a level of talent, clearly has something that he can offer to NBA teams, just might need a change of scenery. Maybe. I think about a guy like Jet Howard, who is believed to be a, just like this sniper off the bench that can come in and rack up a bunch of points as a 6th man. Does he need a change of scenery? I don't know. Caleb Houston plays right into your concern, Nikki Nunu. I don't know who would want Caleb Houston. again, he has this identity of a sharpshooter, and then he comes in and can't make a three. I don't know. What do you do with that? And then we talked about Wendell. You can't trade Wendell. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I mean, Gary. That's the other one. Yeah, I mean, the attraction that other teams might have to Gary is he's a veteran. He does play good defense despite the issues on offense. He is still a good defender, and statistically speaking, he's a good 3-point shooter up until the last couple seasons. So those are the things that I think Gary Harris is probably the most valuable person who you're considering for a trade right now, which is wild because he's not playing, which is also wild. Soul Train with another super chat says, what can AB do to become a better point guard? Well, tonight, Anthony Black missed several opportunities at the rim. Would love to see him be better at that. He's got such a big frame, and he's very good at getting to his spots. He's very good at getting to the rim, but his finishing of late has not been good, and it was not good tonight. I think that's part one. Part two for me is he only had one turnover tonight, but he is his move that is the most dangerous in a bad way are his jump passes. I don't know if he learned it from Paolo or is just similar to Paolo in that he leaves his feet with no idea what he's going to do with it sometimes. Didn't really see it tonight. Maybe I think there was like one moment that happened tonight, so it's not specific to tonight, but I feel like we see that a lot from him, which is not good. All right, we're at freaking 34 minutes. It's crazy, man. Crazy. I got to look at the rest of this box score before we go back to the chat for the last time. Oh, no, we've lost the box score. We've lost it. All right, Magic won the first quarter and lost the last three. Hey, the exact same thing that has happened over the last 5 games. It's clockwork. This team, I don't want to say they got off to a good start tonight because they didn't. They just barely squeaked out the first quarter because of all the turnovers. But in the second quarter, you lose. The third quarter, how many third quarters in a row has this team lost? It's bad. 58 points in the paint for the Blazers compared to 30 for the Magic. You get Paolo and Franz, and you only get 30 points in the paint. That's disgusting. Blazers led by as many as 25. Magic only get 29 bench points. They had 19 turnovers, leading to 22 points off turnovers for the Blazers. Whatever, man. I'm done with that. A couple more thoughts from the chat, and we got to go. This is painful, man. This sucks. Some of you saying let's just go ahead and tank for Cooper Flag. I don't know about that. Here's my last internal thoughts before I just let chat take us home here. I am of the belief still that tonight will be forgotten, long forgotten come April and maybe even May. I still believe this team is good enough to be good in the playoffs. I am not fully worried yet because this is not the Orlando Magic. The team we saw tonight is not the Orlando Magic. Okay, we're still missing key guys. Is it concerning? Yeah. Am I panicked? No. I say all that to say, right now we are down bad, and the vibes right now are really, really low. They're really, really low. Like there's just no arguing that. You can't sugarcoat that. However, I still feel like April, May, we're not even going to remember tonight. I really think that's the more likely scenario than what it feels like is happening right now is the wheels have totally fallen off and this team is destined to miss the playoffs altogether. That's what it feels like right now. But I feel like the other way is actually more probable is how I'm feeling right now. But it doesn't make this suck any less. All right, last couple thoughts from the chat here. Yeah, Janine says this is not serious basketball. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it's just not. Chris says, should I get the 2025 NBA champs tattoo removed? Not yet. Daniel Hidalgo says, Dell can't believe it. Can't see him anymore. Yeah. Austin says, was at Kia tonight, and this was a hopeless experience almost immediately. You can feel there's no energy, spirit, effort, or care from the players. That's tough. That is tough. David says we'll be fine as soon as Goga is back and Wendell is not on the floor nearly as much as, I guess just nearly as much. Yeah. Jonathan talked about that on today's episode. Wendell just has to go back to the Mo Wagner role. Has to. That's the only way this will work. If he's out there with the starters playing starters minutes, it's just we're cooked because Wendell is just not it. And I hate to say that. But Wendell has just been really, really bad. It just sucks. Really, really wanted it to work out with Wendell, but it is not. Oh, man. Let's see. Jordan says Detroit finna destroy us. Here's the thing. Like, it's possible, but at the same time, Paolo has a better game. Paolo's not going to go 1 of 14 on Saturday, right? Like, that's just not going to happen. Franz plays well again. 1 or 2 other guys play well. Maybe Cole comes back. Maybe Gary comes back. Who knows? Limits minutes from like a Caleb Houston or, Jet Howard. I don't know. And then, you can beat Detroit. You can do it. Jordan says we injured Ivy. They're going to try to beat us by 30 plus. I mean, I didn't think about that. You're not wrong about that. Matty Rogers. Oh, I get this. This is Matty World Peace. He says, thank you, Kevin. Oh, man. You know what's really funny, guys? You know why he's saying thank you? Because Matt was originally scheduled to do this game tonight. And before, this was actually yesterday, I think, or Tuesday. I texted him and was like, hey, I can actually do Thursday's game if you want me to. And he was like, sure. Y'all, if Matt did this game tonight, y'all would have never let him let this down. Like, you would have ripped that guy. Oh, man, I'm glad this worked out, Matt. Because, yeah, this would have been historically bad on the post-game live front as well. Good grief. All right, whatever. I don't even know. You guys are great in the chat. There's just been so many. I'm glad this could be a therapy session for everyone because, man, I mean, there's so many of you in the comments right now. We still have 135 of you here, which is kind of crazy. 40 minutes after a loss. It's kind of crazy to have you guys so active here tonight, but there's just so much happening in the chat. There's no way I'm going to get to all of it. But I really appreciate all, like, this has been great. I would say this makes me feel better, but it doesn't, but it does at the same time. It's just one of those things. It's one of those things. But we got to call it, guys. It's after 10 o'clock. Yeah, I don't know. I need to do something else with my night. That's what I need to do. All right, what's happening next? Magic play Saturday. They host the Detroit Pistons, like we just said. Oh man, we got to do better Saturday. Lose, fine, whatever. Just be competitive. We've had 5 straight blowout losses. I can't handle another one. I hope your Friday is better than today. I hope your Saturday's even better. We'll see you after the Pistons game on Saturday, but until then, let's go Magic, please.